Hello, thank you for joining me today as you learn all about college and the opportunities that lie ahead for you. My name is Jackie Berry, and I'm an outreach presenter for the Minnesota Office of Higher Education. In a moment, I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can follow along as I give you lots of useful information. Our hope is that it will help you in finding the best college for you. Here we go. College knowledge, awareness and preparation, education for making a well-informed decision, brought to you by the Minnesota Office of Higher Education. What is the Minnesota Office of Higher Ed? The Minnesota Office of Higher Education is a cabinet-level state agency providing students with financial aid programs and information to help them gain access to post-secondary education. The agency also serves as the state's clearinghouse for data, research, and analysis on post-secondary enrollment, financial aid, finance, and trends. I highly recommend that you check out our website as you explore different colleges, careers, and want to learn more about financial aid. So why college? A college degree can qualify you for a wider variety of jobs. By 2020, 65% of all jobs in Minnesota will require some level of post-secondary training. Over a lifetime, a college graduate is likely to earn approximately $1 million more than a high school graduate. College graduates typically have better access to healthcare than those with only a high school diploma. And finally, someone that graduates from college is more likely to own a home than someone with only a high school diploma. Earn more with a degree. In general, the higher the degree, the lower the unemployment rate as reflected by the blue bar graph here. Additionally, the higher the educational degree, the more opportunity you have to make more money as reflected by the green bar graph. Types of colleges. First, we're going to talk about career college, and this is a school that focuses on a specific profession. The time commitment is between 2 months and 2 years. Examples of schools in Minnesota are Aveda, Energy Healing International, and Fair Hypnosis. Examples of jobs are cosmetologist, yoga instructor, and travel agent. When you graduate from a career college, you earn a certificate designated for a specific career. Next are community colleges, and these are post-secondary institutions that focus on general education requirements. The time commitment again falls between 2 months and 2 years. Examples of schools in Minnesota are Minneapolis College, Inver Hills Community College, and Normandale Community College. Examples of jobs are preschool teacher, paralegal assistant, and dental assistant. When you graduate from a community college, you earn a diploma, certificate, or associate's degree. The really cool thing about community college is that you may transfer these credits over to a 4-year university. Oftentimes, students start at community college because it's cheaper, and then they transfer their general education requirements onto a 4-year college in order to obtain a bachelor's degree. Technical college. This is a post-secondary institution that focuses on hands-on training in a specific career. The time commitment is between 2 months and 2 years. Examples of schools in Minnesota are Hennepin Technical College, Anoka Technical College, Dakota County Technical College, and then examples of jobs are medical assistant, carpenter, or veterinarian technician. When you graduate from a technical college, you earn a diploma, certificate, or associate's degree. And just like community college, you may be able to transfer some of those credits over to a 4-year university. 4-year college and university. These are post-secondary institutions that focus on undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees. The time commitment is somewhere between 4 years to 12 years, depending on the degree you try to obtain. Examples of schools in Minnesota are the University of Minnesota, St. Cloud State University, Minnesota State University, Mankato, and examples of jobs are teacher, lawyer, psychologist, or journalist. You would earn a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate degree when you graduate from a 4-year college or university. People sometimes wonder what the difference between public and private colleges and universities is, and mainly it is the way that they are funded. Public schools are mainly funded by state governments. They may also receive donated money, but this is not their driving force of income. While private schools are mainly funded by endowments, which is donated money, and student tuition and fees. Neither one is better than the other. It really comes down to what that school can offer you as a student who is in attendance. When you're thinking about the program area that you want to go to school for, you could try looking at the minnesota.gov deed website. Here, you can compare a program along with the median income across the second, third, and fourth year after graduation. In the first year after obtaining a bachelor's degree in engineering, 69% of the students earned a median income of $59,797. This may be important to you as you try to determine what you want your future career to be. Another good website is College Scorecard. Here you can compare different colleges. In this example, we have compared colleges in Minnesota that have a 70% graduation rate or more and cost less than $30,000 a year. As you can see, it pulls up schools that fall under that criteria and then gives you other details such as graduation rate, salary after completing graduation, and more. Another form of searching on College Scorecard is to look based on a specific program. So this is a comparison with a journalism program at 70% graduation rate or more and costing less than $30,000 a year. As you can see, it pulls up the different schools that have a journalism program that fall under those criteria. And if you want to learn more about a specific school, you can click on View More Details. These are two great ways for you to figure out which colleges should get the most attention from you. This is a chart that shows the cost of yearly tuition in Minnesota for the 2019-2020 school year. I'm going to give you a moment to review it. Please note that in the public section, this includes schools from career college all the way up to four-year college and university. That is why this may seem a little bit low and this may seem really high. We do know that sometimes there is sticker shock with the cost of college. For these most expensive ones, it may feel like the U of M, Carleton College, and the Minnesota School of Cosmetology in Plymouth would be very expensive. However, this is where financial aid comes into play. Oftentimes, the cost that a student needs to bring out of pocket to attend college is drastically different. Please view our financial aid presentation for an example of a more realistic view of how much it would cost for a student to go to school. Reciprocity, what is it? Tuition reciprocity is an agreement made between states that allows a non-resident student to attend college at the same rate tuition amount as a resident student. Minnesota shares a reciprocity agreements with Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, the Canadian province of Manitoba, and we have a limited agreement with the Iowa Lakes Community College in northern Iowa. Any student who lives in Minnesota and wants to attend a school in one of these states is able to attend it at the same rate as a resident in those states. Similarly, any student who lives in one of these states is able to attend a school in Minnesota at the same rate as a resident in Minnesota. For example, at the U of M, the cost of tuition for 1 year is approximately $15,142, and for a non-resident, it is $33,440. Being able to attend as a resident when you are not can sure be quite a savings. What is my money paying for? First, your money goes towards tuition and fees, and this is the cost per credit plus administrative fees for each class. Next is room, and this is when you live on campus. But do keep in mind that even if you don't live on campus, you will have some type of living expense unless you're living at home. Next is board, and this is a meal plan covered on campus. You do not have to live on campus to take part in a board meal plan, but you will want to plan for being able to feed yourself while you're going to school. Next are books and supplies. People don't often think about the fact that you have to pay for your own textbooks in college. Now, if you're lucky, like I was, you may go to a college that has a textbook library specifically only for books for classes. But most often, you are going to end up paying for your books. Some ways to save money would be to go online and find used books. There are a plethora of them from you to choose from. Additionally, you may have to pay for some supplies, specifically for classes where you'll be involved in labs. You'll also need money for your own personal expenses, and then additionally transportation. And just because you live on campus doesn't mean you don't need money for transportation. You may very well still need money to drive from your dorm to your college classes, or you may be taking a college shuttle or city bus in order to get there. How families are paying for college. These are averages for 2018-2019. 43% of costs were covered by family, savings, and income. 31% of costs are covered by scholarships and grants. 24% of costs are covered by borrowing or taking out loans. And 2% of costs are covered by friends and family. Financial aid is money awarded to students who have demonstrated that they have a financial need based on their FAFSA application. FAFSA stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, and it falls into 4 categories. First are grants, and this is free money usually awarded based on financial need. Scholarships, free money awarded for special talents, grades, your culture or religious background, and etc. Work study, this is money funded by the government that must be earned by working a part-time job on or off campus. And loans, this is borrowed money from the government or private lenders that must be paid back with interest. As you can probably guess, the best financial aid routes are grants, scholarships, and work study because they do not have to be paid back. But don't let that be a barrier if you're not able to get those. Many people take out loans in order to go to school, and that's perfectly okay. Other ways to pay that are not financial aid based. Savings, the more you save, the less you'll have to borrow. Family contribution, financial aid is designed to assist families who are unable to contribute. It is your family's obligation to help you pay to go to college. But if they're unable to, then financial aid comes into play. Dual credit, these are programs where a high school student can earn free college credits while they are still in high school, and we will be talking about those later on in the presentation. Military and community service. Once you fulfill a commitment to the military or volunteer community service organization, in return, they may help you pay for tuition, fees, books, and they'll give you a living stipend, or they may forgive a portion of your loans. Finally, personal income. Of course, you can work while you're in school and pay for part of your costs. Unfortunately, financial aid is only for students who are documented. So Minnesota has put in place the Minnesota DREAM Act, and this is financial aid for undocumented students. Students who are part of the DREAM Act are eligible for in-state tuition rates at Minnesota state colleges and universities and the University of Minnesota campuses. They're also eligible for state financial aid programs, and they're eligible for privately funded scholarships administered by the Minnesota state colleges and universities or U of M campuses. Requirements for being a part of the Minnesota DREAM Act are to attend a high school, Minnesota high school for at least 3 years, graduate from a Minnesota high school or earn a GED in Minnesota. If you are male, you must comply with the selective service registration requirements. And once you are a part of the program, you must apply for lawful immigration status once the federal process exists. This does not refer to students who are DACA or Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals. Please visit our website for more information about the Minnesota DREAM Act. Here we'll take a look at the types of degrees and the time commitment for each. If you're obtaining a diploma, it'll take 2 months to a year, a certificate, 2 months to 2 years, associate's degree, 2 years, bachelor's degree, 4 years, doctorate, 4 to 6 years after your bachelor's degree, and professional is 1 to 5 years after your bachelor's or doctorate degree. So let's talk about choosing a college and college match and fit. Put simply, students' likelihood of college completion is heavily influenced by their choice. Therefore, Where students choose to enroll can be just as important as whether they choose to enroll in college at all. First, we'll talk about college match, and this refers to the relationship between institutional selectivity and the student's academic ability. This is usually assessed by an ACT or SAT score, GPA, and class rank. So let's take a look at two schools and assess your chances at being admitted. School A has a higher requirement for GPA. They have a higher requirement for their SAT score, a higher requirement for their ACT score, and they wish for all students to have been in the top 15% of their high school graduating class. School B is lower in all areas, and they wish for their students to have been in the top 50% of their high school graduation class. So when you think about where you fall, it is important to make sure that the school you want to go to, you meet their requirements. There are three categories of school that you should apply to. First is a reach school, and these are schools for which your GPA, ACT, SAT, and class rank may be a fraction below the institutional average. Target schools are schools where your GPA, ACT, SAT, and class rank are at or above the institutional average. And safety schools are schools for which your GPA, ACT, SAT, and class rank are well above the institutional average. And it's important for you to apply to all three types of schools. That way, you'll have a wealth of different opportunities to choose from. You may be thinking, why would I apply at a reach school if I'm below what their institutional average is? And that is because schools actually look at the well-rounded individual. And so maybe your GPA is a little bit lower, but you've really been involved at your high school. And so that's something that they appreciate and they accept you anyways. Next is college fit. This refers to the extent in which an institution meets a student's social, academic, and financial needs. Factors to consider are location. Do you want to be close to home, far from home, in a whole different state or country? Academic program. Do they offer what you want to obtain an education in? School and class size. Do you want to be at a school that's really big, where you kind of just mix into the crowd, or do you prefer something smaller? Do you want to be in a class that is really big or a class that is smaller? The culture on campus, the social emotional fulfillment. Again, for me, it was really important for a school to have a multicultural center. So I knew that I wasn't going to be applying to any schools unless they had that as an option. Retention rate, how many students do they keep on campus after they have started? Graduation rate, how many students actually graduate after they've started? Support services, maybe you need help in an extra area. Does that school offer that for you? And then financial viability, the cost. Now, I know that sometimes people choose a college because their friends or family suggest it, but it's really important for you to think about these factors and make sure that they fit your needs and wants. Think to yourself, what matters the most to me? College admissions. This criteria varies by school, but here's a general list of what colleges look for when they are deciding to accept a student. Grade point average or GPA, classes the student has taken in high school, class rank, recommendations from adults in your life, special talents, activities and awards, written essays, interviews with the student, scores on national tests, the ACT or SAT, and volunteer or community service. It is important to excel in each of these areas as colleges are looking for well-rounded students, as I mentioned before. When you're in high school, it's important for you to know what the class requirements are in order for you to get into college. This chart explains that for you. You'll need 4 years of language arts, 3.5 years of social studies, 3 years of math, 3 years of science, 2 years of world language, 1 year of the arts, and some electives. Now, if you know what you want to do when you go to college while you're in high school, then choose electives that fall in line with that. But if you don't, electives are a great way for you to test things out and see if you like them or not. Your high school guidance counselor or advisor is your go-to school support to make sure you are on track for graduating on time with all the required classes. However, you're about to be a college student, so take some responsibility and accountability as well. make sure that you are checking in with your advisor and make sure they're holding you accountable to the required classes. Activities to prepare for college. While you're in high school, you can do some of the following things. Build your resume by having different jobs. Take required classes. Volunteer in your community. Get involved in extracurricular activities such as sports, music, robotics, science programs. Build relationships with a mentor. This could be a family and a non-family member. I stress that you should have a non-family member as a mentor, only because then they would be able to write a really good recommendation letter for you that's not biased on the fact that you are in their family. Build relationships with teachers and staff at your school, again, so they can write a really good recommendation letter for you. Research colleges and visit college campuses, formally and informally. Set up a tour with an admissions counselor, but also maybe attend a sports event or a play that the school is giving, just so you can see what the social culture is on campus. Attend summer programs designed to help you figure out your areas of interest. Interview a current college student. Take a career exploration assessment. Stay connected with your school guidance counselor in your college and career center. Apply for scholarships. Give your best effort in school to achieve the highest grades that you can, and take care of your physical, mental, and emotional health. You can visit our website for suggestions broken down by grade level so you can make sure you're on track with all the right activities. SAT and ACT tests, what are they? Both are standardized tests taken by college applicants that demonstrates their knowledge base in specific academic areas used for college admission. SAT is administered by the College Board, has 2 test sections, math and evidence-based reading and writing. There is also an optional essay portion that some schools may require, but the essay score is reported separate from the overall score. Scores fall between 400 and 1,600 points, with the average being 1,298 for Minnesota. The ACT is administered by the organization ACT and has 4 sections: English, math, reading, and science reasoning. Again, there is also an optional writing section that some colleges may require you to complete, and scores for the ACT fall between 1 and 36 points, with the average being 21.4 in Minnesota. SAT and ACT tests, preparation, when to take them, and cost. You can begin preparing for either test as early as your freshman year, 9th grade, in high school. There are private companies that provide SAT and ACT preparation courses, which you can find by searching online. Your school may require students to take what's called a PSAT, and this is a preliminary SAT. You would usually take this during your 9th, 10th, and or 11th grade year, and it helps students understand areas they need to improve in prior to taking the actual test. Once you're ready to take the test, you can take it as many times as you like. The recommendation is that you take it for the first time towards the end of your junior year, so you know the areas you need to improve on should you decide to retake it to get a higher score. The cost for an SAT test is $47.50 and $64.50 if you add on the essay portion. The cost for an ACT test is $46 and $62.50 if you add on the additional written portion. The Accuplacer. If you decide you want to attend a community or technical college, then you will need to take the Accuplacer. Accuplacer is a series of tests that shows a student's level of skills in reading, writing, and math. The outcome of the tests help the admissions counselors and advisors determine what level of classes a student should enroll in. Depending upon what scores a student gets, they may either begin to take courses to earn college credits, or they may have to take some additional classes before enrolling in credit-bearing courses. Visit the College Board website for more information. Regardless if you take the SAT, ACT, or the Accuplacer, make sure that you are well prepared, and good luck. Earn free college credits in high school. What are AP or CIS classes? AP are advanced placement, and CIS are college and schools classes, and they are higher level courses that students can take in high school at their school. Students can earn college credit for these classes. How that works is at the end of your senior year, you take a test. If you do well on this test, then you may be able to earn free credits to go into college. What is PSEO? PSEO stands for Post-Secondary Enrollment Option. This allows a high school student to take college courses at a local college while they are still in high school. They can attend class and complete the assignments as college students. It is free. If you can get into PSEO, do it. If you do really well in all of the regular high school classes and you're bored and don't feel challenged, check in and see if you can get into either AP, CIS, or PSEO options. To find more information about how to access these programs, talk to your school guidance counselor advisor in your school's college and career center. Visit our website to learn more about different programs that may be offered at your school, and you can visit our website to view a dual credit comparison chart. Start searching for scholarships now, like right now when you're done with the presentation. Continue to search for scholarships online through various search engines such as finaid.org/scholarships, the Office of Higher Ed website, College Greenlight website, or goldendoorscholars.org if you are an undocumented student. Finaid.org and College Greenlight allow you to build a profile. When a scholarship becomes available that meets your profile, they'll send you an email that says, hey, apply for this scholarship. Some students kind of drag their feet because you might have to write an essay, you might have to create a drawing, you might have to provide examples of how you've been involved in the community, and this takes time. But think about it. An hour or two to fill out a scholarship application and free money for college, I think it's worth it. There are even some scholarships for middle school students. So if you have younger brothers or sisters, bring them into the conversation and maybe help them get a scholarship right now too. How has COVID-19 affected applying? There hasn't been much change in the application process, but there are a few things to consider. You can expect longer wait times. Responses to emails, phone messages, and other forms of communication will be longer as everyone navigates working from home. Some schools are changing the ACT and SAT tests to optional. They are still important to take as not all schools are going this route, but be sure to ask your guidance counselor what their recommendation is. Finally, we're here to help. So you can visit our website and find more information on reciprocity, tax benefits, tuition and fees for the 5-state area, a financial aid estimator, preparing, selecting, and paying for publications, and you can call us at the phone number listed or at our website. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was really helpful, and good luck in finding the perfect college for you.